Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Talking Nerdy. This is the first video of 2024. Back in the booth, in the studio, recording. It feels good. Got to brush off the dust. We're back at it.
Yes, finally. It's been such a long time. I think it's October.
It has been.
Since we'll hopefully this one gets saved.
We've tried this a couple times. There was issues because we are so dusty.
But here's the thing. We've done that every year.
True.
And it's always the first time.
Yeah.
At least once.
Once we take a break, then there's hiccups.
Always. Every time. That's tradition.
We just got to keep going.
Yeah. Forever. Forever.
But lots of stuff has come out, including Dune Part 2.
He who can destroy a thing has the real control of it. Is to you. Do you believe me?
This is a form of power that our world has not yet seen. The ultimate power.
I want you to know I will love you as long as I breathe.
You will never lose me as long as you stay who you are.
Consider what you're about to do, Paul Atreides.
Silence!
Prophecy is how they enslave us!
So, Dune Part 2. This is a quick breakdown of the Denis Villeneuve's follow-up to his Dune Part 1, which is an adaptation of the second half of Frank Herbert's 1965 novel Dune. This film truly is amazing. With immersive world building, beautiful done action sequences, and an examination of a false messiah mythology, the movie opens up with throat singing just like the first one, with the on-screen text reading, "Power over spice is power over everything." The 2021 Dune opened with "Dreams are messages from the deep." This sets the tone apart from the first movie, letting you know right from the get-go that this will be a much more combative movie. Black Widow's sister is featured in this one. Florence Pugh as Princess Irulan, daughter of the Emperor, played by Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Heyo, talking to me all wrong. She recaps the moments for Part 1. So that was kind of actually really cool that they did this through her eyes. The first movie, just in case you needed to be re-brought into the movie, right, or forgot some stuff from the first one. She's kind of going through the moments of the first one. Also, in the eyes of the Emperor's view, which was kind of cool because it kind of lets us know something. But so she's going over the moments of Part 1, especially like that the battle for Arrakis, led by the Harkonnnen, took everyone by surprise. There were no witnesses, and by morning the Atreides were no more. All died in the darkness, and telling us that the Emperor's deployment of the Sardaukar was in secret. So none of the houses were supposed to know that the Emperor had kind of set this up with the Harkonnen and the Atreides.
For obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons, right?
For obvious reasons. If they're going to attack you, they're going to attack you in the night when no one else knows, with no witnesses.
Yeah.
That kind of would throw all the other houses kind of scared.
I think it would, because the whole reason why the Emperor is getting rid of Leto Atreides is because his house, they're gaining a lot of power. All the other houses like him. He's doing it the right way. His army's getting big. He's kind of keeping to himself. And the Emperor pretty much at this point needs to squash him.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why this all happens. Send the House Atreides to Arrakis and just tell them, they're in charge of spice now, taking it away from the Harkonnen, who have been on this planet for so long. They gained a lot of power from harvesting the spice. Obviously, that's not going to sit well with them.
Nope.
And so, I mean, it's, kind of like Game of Thrones, just kind of using everybody as pawns.
Yep.
Just in case you didn't know, Dune takes place in 10-191 on the imperial calendar. This would be year 21267 AD in Earth's timeline. These events are set in AG or after the Guild, referring to the founding of the Space Guild, who monetized space travel using spice, which is consumed by the navigators to travel safely through space. This world, there's no computers. There was a all-out war with mankind against thinking computers. So that's why there's no AI, there's no computers, and that's why they rely so heavily on these Space Guild navigators to use the spice to safely travel them through space, so they don't run into stars. And
so there's no computers.
Not really, which is crazy because they have spaceships, but there's no like advanced computers.
Oh,
right. So
like we're coming out with now in the real world.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Yep. Nice. So nothing that they could just punch in. It could calculate this is the safe route to another planet. They need these people that are just hopped up on spice too. Yep.
Drug them up.
Yeah, which created the monopoly on it, and so that's why they're so important. And anytime you see somebody flying in this movie, or even the first one, there is Space Guild members there. They're the people with the helmets on where you can't see their faces.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're probably bloodshot and
sucking
just
that spice. Yeah. Did you know there's 3 stages to the Space Guild? So let me show you.
I didn't know the Space Guild existed until you just told me about 3 seconds ago.
Gotcha. So check this out, man, and I'll put a picture on the screen. So the Space Guild is pretty crazy. I was kind of hoping they were going to show it in this movie. Maybe they will in Dune Part 3, which doesn't cover. We stray away from the Dune book and we jump into Dune Messiah,
which is about
Paul Atreides falling and all that stuff.
He dies?
Nah, I'm not gonna say that, but he doesn't.
You read a book?
Okay, so this is the ultimate form. This is the 3rd stage.
What the heck?
Okay.
Those are regular people?
They were. So this is who they are in the movie.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
This might be the only form we get to see because it's probably the most like rooted in real world, right? But they start off as people and they consume so much spice that it actually morphs their body. So it starts elongating their head, their extremities kind of get this like fish-like webbing. They get elongated, but it also their body becomes useless.
That's terrible.
All they're using is their brain until they turn into that final form. And this is actually a clip from the original movie. They're in these tanks just flooded with spice gases, and that's all they ever consume.
So how come the Atreides aren't like that?
They consume small amounts, so they have it in their food and stuff, which is why their eyes are blue. The sign that you've been consuming is your eyes turn blue, but they're not doing what the guild is doing. So once you become a navigator, you're locked in. You're not breathing air anymore.
You're just breathing spice.
Breathing spice. That's all you consume for food.
You wouldn't think there'd be any like defects in the Atreides?
Oh, you would definitely think that over the course of time, somebody would consume more than they should. Yeah.
Okay.
They should show that.
Yeah, like they, like they could, kick him to the curb like we do the homeless. Just kick him to the curb.
Right.
Just,
These are the defects. They're out.
Keep them away. They're like crackheads.
Yeah.
Just like crackheads. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I get it now.
You would definitely think there'd be, but maybe it's different because spice, the on that planet, it's all sand form. Like I don't think we saw them consume it in any other way.
Like a pure form.
Yeah, right. So like this,
they get it mixed.
Yeah, the Space Guild, they've cooked it into a gas, and that's what they're consuming. So maybe it is different consuming it that way.
Yeah, like smoking stuff or eating it. Yeah, I get it. Or injecting it. Yeah, I got you. I understand this. I understand what this. Who wrote this book? Frank.
Yeah,
I understand what Frank was getting at here. I get it. I got it now.
Frank Herbert.
Yeah, I know what Frank Herbert was getting down with.
But it was still a good movie.
It was a great movie.
Visually, like this movie is meant to be seen in IMAX.
Which is what we did.
We did.
$26 later a piece.
Yeah, it's so expensive. Gosh.
But it was I enjoyed the movie thoroughly throughout the whole thing. I want to see it again.
Yeah.
If I had $26, right? If I had $50, I would go see the movie by myself again. Got to get popcorn.
Gotta get it. Yeah.
Gotta get the popcorn.
Oh man, the popcorn combo thing. You had to get the combo. That's the only way they sold it. But you get the bucket,
and that's Not a normal size bucket. Let's just start here.
Right? You get this and this is $29.99. You have to get it together. And the reason why there's something else in here is because when we saw Avatar, this is what they gave
A
you
little small.
with the cup and whatnot. And just look at the differences. Like this thing, like this is for fatties.
That I think I got through an eighth of that. Usually I can like down the whole thing, like pretty close to the bottom. This one I didn't even like get to only in theaters. I was like 90% full
That's insane.
It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts.
This is manageable. Like you'd probably right get pretty close to finishing.
You would
it.
finish that for sure.
Yeah.
For a 3-hour movie or 2 hours and 45 minutes, whatever it was.
There's no
Nope.
way. This is the biggest bucket. This is like borderline like going to Home Depot and picking up a bucket.
Yeah. That's a gallon. That's a couple gals.
For sure. This is insane. But I appreciate it because it's cool.
And it doesn't fit in our cupboard, so it's cool.
Heck no, it's so massive.
I know. I got mine in. Rachel said no.
Did you toss it?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
I just shoved it in there.
Yeah. But I mean, still, it's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
But the movie is great. It starts off right where the first one finishes. They're on planet Arrakis, and the Harkonnnen are just they think that what they did the whole war, they think they got rid of House Atreides, and so they're like, okay, let's just start up spice production again. And what they're finding out is that Paul and the Fremen are just taking them down one by one. I think we kind of talked during the movie. The Fremen have pretty powerful weapons.
They do. Yeah. Those laser cutter
Actually, you
things?
brought that up. Yeah, you were like, why do they even need Paul? Why was this even an issue? They should have just been able to mow these guys down with those laser weapons.
So, let's build off that real quick. I think the reason they didn't is because they were waiting for their Messiah to lead them. I think they stuck themselves in a corner and waited for centuries. What didn't it say centuries? I think it was.
Yeah.
Waited for him.
Just needed like that sign. Like
they needed the leader.
Yeah.
But like their technology was insane. Mm-hmm. Like those laser things just popping them off.
Maybe before they were just too scared. They were like, okay, these guys came in. They're oppressing us. They're really strong. They have a good military. There's no way we can take them on.
Yeah.
Then you get Paul, and it's this sign of hope, and it's like, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
Like, now more than ever in time, we have the Messiah.
It has to be because like the water suits they make are like way better than anything else, like any other technology they've had.
Yeah.
And the laser weapons and like the hiding, like the thing that just rolls and then I don't even know. Like they have some crazy cool weapons.
Oh, are you talking about like that plate or whatever that shoots out of the ground?
Yeah. Like, what? And how they're like laying under the sand. How do you even get under? Have you ever tried to get under sand?
Dude, it'd be impossible.
Exactly.
Yeah. But they got their little breathing sticks. And,
Yep. Gosh.
Like the execution of this, it was amazing. The technology used for this movie was amazing. What's crazy is like obviously there's CGI, but it's done so like rooted in like the real world. Like it's so grounded that it just feels real. Like when you're watching it. Other than like the big sandworms, but like there wasn't moments where I'm like watching like an Avengers movie where it's just like, this is over the top. This is crazy. This was just like, you don't even think about the CGI. You're just in the story, watching it, consuming it. And it was really cool.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
My only gripe.
Your only gripe.
And I said this at the theater. So it's IMAX. And I know this is probably done for the experience of it. There's so many dark scenes and so many bright scenes. Like, I don't know if you felt this, but like the dark scenes were long and then like your eyes get adjusted and then boom, you're outside, sun's blaring, screen's so bright. Like I was squinting and then like it would go back to dark. And
I can build upon this even deeper than you can. I just got laser eye surgery 3 days prior to that. I was struck when we were even in the scene and the lights were on. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. Yeah, because I got laser eye on Tuesday or Monday. Tuesday, I don't even remember. And I think we saw it like on Friday.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is hard.
It was so tough. Like I didn't have surgery, so I couldn't imagine. Yeah. No. Dude, because every time I was like, oh, like my eyes had to adjust. And
I feel it.
And they kept doing it. Like it would be bright, dark for like 10 minutes and then bright. And it's just like, God dang, like just pick a setting.
I do feel that one.
Right.
I did feel that, but I felt that one pre-movie, so that was whew,
This just amplified
that
it.
was rough. That was a rough one. That was your only gripe?
I mean, like as far as like the experience of
Oh,
the
okay,
movie,
the experience.
right?
Okay.
Storytelling, we already touched on one.
We touched on one.
The Fremen should have
Destroyed.
the Harkonnnen. Yeah, this shouldn't have been a question.
My biggest gripe. I have a gripe.
Yeah,
My biggest gripe is when they sent Paul on his like lone mission, his mission to join, the Fremen.
Yeah,
he wasn't ever alone, and they said it. You could die. It takes weeks, and it just like they sent him away to walk away, and then he was with him again.
for context, so he's the Messiah. Like the Fremen are thinking he's the Messiah. So to really challenge him, they're like, you have to go on this quest kind of across the desert by yourself, where you'll have to feed off the land, you'll have to evade the scorching sun, all this kind of stuff, and avoid.
They said a couple monsters,
and there's people out there that will just kind of kill you on sight and stuff like that, and then the sandworms, obviously. But so they're like building up, like, we need you to do this to prove to us you're the Messiah. That's great. And he starts his quest, and then
there's Zendaya.
And it's over. They're just immediately doing something
And then they're
different.
immediately following him, and they're like immediately attacking all the ships of the Harkonnens.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this must be part of his trial,
That's what I thought at first.
I thought
yeah.
I did too, and I was like, okay. Yeah, okay, now, what's he doing? Nothing. It's like maybe they fight with him, and that night he has to go by himself. But nope, he was just with him the whole
done.
time.
Yeah.
And that was, like, why even bring it up?
Why bring it up? Yeah. If you're not going to show it, why bring it
I
up?
understand why they did it, because it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. But
Part of
and it
me
was-
did feel like the wrong things were focused on. Not necessarily the wrong things, but there was a lot of slow scenes, and there was a lot of stuff cut out, which it's like, can you find a balance? Because
Yeah.
when they travel to the south, there's none of that. You don't see any of it. Like, they get on their worms, everybody gets a worm, and boom, they're there.
Getting on a worm seemed really dangerous.
Right.
I don't think they would get. And how do they slow him down?
Just pull the reins. I don't know.
Like, how would they get all those people on the same worm? Is what
Right.
I'm wondering. Like, how do you like? I don't know. They didn't show that, which they
Yeah.
probably could have. It would
Because they
have.
make it such a big deal just to get on the back of one, right? Not too many people can do it, and then all of a sudden, everybody's on a worm.
Yeah, and like they have a the Bene Gesserit, she's on
Oh, his
one
mom?
in a cage. It's like, how do they do that? Well done. They just drop her and hope like they can hold on. I don't know.
They showed that like surfer style way of like catching a wave, but it's like catching a worm, right? Like you see it coming, you're running up to it, and like it was that part was cool, but there's no way you can get somebody on a cage in a cage on that worm.
Yeah, so that would have been cool to show. I mean, I could understand reining it back and like holding them there, but they never show that, not once.
No.
It's like a train's going and then everyone's on the train.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And we just
Everybody just run and
we
catch
just
it.
go through the sandstorm.
But how epic. So when they are at the Harkonnnen base, after the Emperor has arrived and the plan to attack it has already happened, and then the dust cloud.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden the
Awesome.
3 worms
Again.
come emerging.
Why didn't they do this earlier?
So cool. Oh, yeah. There's no technology there. Like, just hop on the worms.
I don't
if you
even
know how to do
understand why they even got on the ground and fought.
it. Just take the worms
Just
out.
take like 18 worms and just mow everything down. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they just needed that Messiah
Yeah.
power. Yeah.
That was a little, I don't know.
Okay, I got another little graphic.
Oh, here it is.
You have Christopher Walken in this movie.
Yep. And
He's so iconic.
you don't use him.
They don't use him. He says almost nothing.
And doesn't even
Does
use
almost
his voice.
nothing. Right. He's talking very like just monotone. Just it's not the Christopher Walken voice that everybody loves. Fade is insane.
He's crazy.
Like plays it really well.
Yeah. Yeah. He was nuts the whole way through.
Yeah.
Whole way through. Just creepy, little creepster.
Another gripe. Oh man. And we actually talked about this at the theater. They build him up. He's this total nut job. Like could be the Joker in The Dark Knight. Like he's just that crazy loose cannon. They show him battling people. Ooh, I do want to talk about that because I don't know if you noticed that, but they show him battling people in this Coliseum. Like he's just a nut job. He just wants to kill and battle, and he's good at it until he fights Paul. Then he sucks at fighting, and
Well, Paul's pretty good at fighting.
Paul's pretty good at fighting, right?
You think he would destroy Paul?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
him. Okay, let's just talk about Fade a little quick. Hold on. He's fighting guys who are drugged up in an arena.
That's very true. That's very
He's
true.
never fought. He fought one guy.
Yeah.
Really? One guy.
One guy that had been starving, malnutritioned.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he wasn't
that's
even
very
like
true.
a fighter. So like, how good really is he? Not saying he's not good. He's just crazy.
He's just crazy.
Crazy
yeah.
with a lot of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, I'll rein that
I'm
one
not
back.
saying, but Paul's really. I thought Paul would have destroyed him, just
Yeah.
based off of like he actually fights
And he knows different fighting techniques
and he knows
stuff like that.
Yeah. So I thought he would have destroyed him just based off of him fighting drugged up guys.
That's very true. So, so the Harkonnnen,
Mm-hmm.
the planet that they're on, they don't have like light like we have right now. They only get to see UV light emitted from their sun, and so that's why their eyes are really sensitive. When they were in the ornithopter,
The what? The what?
that
Oh, those things are awesome.
Dave Bautista was with his troop going after Paul and his men. They were
Mm-hmm.
like, "We're gonna go get him. We're gonna defeat the Fremen." Some of his guys were puking because the sun was so bright. Like they're not used to it, and that's why that Harkonnen base barely has windows. It just has tiny little slits at the top of each
I thought that's just for
structure
the sun, just to keep it.
because it burns so hot. No, so that's they're the planet they came on. They just grew up in pretty much darkness. They grew up seeing UV light.
Darkness.
What will break first, your mind or your body?
They should have gotten him.
Bane, right?
Yeah, Bane should have been here.
So when they went to that Colosseum, that was actually on their planet. And did you notice it was pretty much black and white? It was monochrome.
I did notice that. Yep.
Yep. So that was how they actually view the world.
Oh, that's terrible.
Right. And after that battle, it kind of looked like fireworks, but it really, to us, looked like ink blots
Yeah.
going. So that's UV, ultraviolet. And so what they're seeing is just the hottest parts of that explosion in the fireworks. And that's why it kind of looked like ink blots.
Crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it was cool. It looked well done. But
Yeah.
everybody was just like white, black.
Mhm.
It was pretty much just whites and blacks. And yeah. But
Wow,
yeah.
that's neat.
Right? Just like a little like
It's
artistic
a neat little
choice.
tidbit.
Yeah. Like the director took the role very serious and like didn't explain a lot but showed you a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that one was just kind of put in there for like the book fans and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean really good movie, lots of action, a lot more than the first one.
Absolutely, a lot was more than the first
Lot
one.
more,
A lot
yeah.
more. It's started off with a bang and just kind of went and went and went and went. You learned so much in the second one. I like the second one way more than the first one.
100%. Yeah, which is rare. Usually the second ones kind of fall a little flat.
I've watched the first one. I can't wait till it to come out on whatever it comes out. I'm
I'm
so
gonna watch
excited.
it
I'm gonna
again.
watch
Yeah.
it again and again and again. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's a tier 1 movie.
It's a commitment too, though. It is a 3-hour movie, and it does still feel like a 3-hour movie
But it does.
because
But
there's
it's
slow
good.
scenes. But it does, yeah. It wraps you in. You're on a cinematic adventure. You're along for the ride. It's good. It's really good. And I didn't realize how weaved through every family the Benny Gesserit is.
Yeah, they're the devils.
They are.
That's what's gonna happen in the end.
Yeah. So
Paul's gonna kill them all.
so
I haven't read the books.
So essentially, the Benny Gesserit, it's like this religious guild, but they have
Cult.
Yeah, it's more like cult. They manipulate so many different people from different ranks and whatnot, but essentially they just want to be in power. They want to control power, and so the emperor has they got to his daughter, Arulin. She is a Benny Gesserit, and so they can control her to control the emperor and whatnot. And they were actually the ones that told him to send Leto Atreides over to Arrakis. And so they're the reason for this whole thing. And then what we find out in this movie is the whole reason why the Fremen think that there is a Messiah is because centuries ago, the Bene Gesserit started this story about how there would be a Messiah. And they even told themselves that they would look for a male, who could harness like the power that they have, because they tell everybody only women can have the power. The milk, it would kill any male. So they've been telling themselves like, one day we will curate this male to be like this Messiah character. But for the Fremen, that's all they've known, and they are just hope. It's just to give them hope, and so they've been hoping that this Messiah will come one day. And now Paul, with the help of his mother, is starting to check a lot of these boxes, because she knows from the first movie, if he doesn't pass the test by the Bene Gesserit, when they find out he's using the voice and all that they're going to kill him. So she's training him in all these aspects, and he has to do the test, the hand in the box. He passes it. And the Bene Gesserit are so pissed off at her, but she's like, look, you've been telling everybody there's going to be this Messiah character. Let him be it. Like, let's just have him. And so when he gets to Arrakis, the Fremen see him, see what he can do, and it's the Messiah. Yep. And we find out that all of this is just BS and stuff that the Bene Gesserit
But is it
created.
BS?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe they knew something.
Maybe. But, man, I mean, every character is so dynamic, so different. It's just such a good movie.
It is a very good movie. Yeah, very good movie. I didn't like his mom. I didn't like his mom very much.
No, I didn't like her either.
I don't like her.
Right?
She's corrupt, and she wants to prove a point.
She wants to prove a point, and she's trying to build her son up at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
She's lying to the Fremen. She's lying to the Bene Gesserit. She's lying to her son. I think she's just trying to keep him alive. Because she made the choice to have a boy, which I don't know how you have that choice. But
I had that choice too. I had 3 of them.
But since she had that boy, she wanted to keep him alive. She wanted a boy for Leto. And I don't know if this is like Mama Bear just in fight or flight, like I will do whatever it takes to keep him alive, or if she is so wrapped up in this Bene Gesserit thing, this lie, the story, that she's like, my son is the Messiah.
I bet both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. Because she wants it to be her son more than anything else.
Knowing that this milk of life could kill him, she still has him drink it, and it almost does. But his girlfriend,
mistress,
that was part of me was like, it's tugging my heartstrings a little bit. But yeah, so Zendaya's character Chani, she kind of revives him. I don't even remember how.
With her tears.
Oh, those are the tears.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her tears.
That's right. So he's pretty much dead. He's unresponsive, and her tears bring him back to life, like some Disney story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And then he dumps her about a couple weeks later.
I mean, you brought on Florence Pugh. Why does he need Zendaya anymore?
I knew she looked really familiar. I didn't know from what.
Black Widow's sister?
Yep. I was like, who is that? She looks so familiar.
Yeah.
And then later, Google it. We found out.
That's her. But Josh Brolin makes a comeback in this movie.
I don't remember him dying. Like you say, you never say. I don't know how he survived.
I don't think he did. I don't think it shows him dying.
No, it doesn't. But it's like, how did he survive?
Oh, I mean, he had to jump sides, and I think so everybody thinks the Atreides are dead, and I think he got just.
You think he destroyed enough people around him that he could escape?
Probably, yeah. And he couldn't find Leto or Paul or anybody, and so everybody's saying they're dead. Well, it's like, well, I'm on this planet with Harkonnnen and Fremen. I need to figure out how I'm going to survive. And so it's like, okay, I will be a spice runner then.
Spice runner mercenary
for the, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you hear Paul's quote from the first movie. It's like, I know your footsteps, old man, or something like that. From when Josh Brolin comes in to train him with the little sword fighting thing in the first one. That's when Paul says it the first time, and then he says it in this one. He recognizes Josh Brolin's character walking on the sand, and he's just like, "Long lost buddy, I missed you, my boy." Yeah, Papa, can you hear me? That's a reference to Deadpool because he's also in that one.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I need to see Deadpool one day.
You got to see the new one.
We'll see.
But yeah, dude, amazing movie. It's doing all right in the box office.
It's not
shocked us. It should be way better.
It's not. We looked at it. I think it has $369 million at this day and point, which is
379 worldwide.
379 worldwide, which is very disappointing. Obviously, it's the best movie of the year so far, not even close. But name another movie that came out this year.
Right.
Can't do it. I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a top 10, top 15 movie of all time when it's all said and done.
I honestly thought it would too.
Honestly,
I thought it would make it
was
there.
so incredibly good. I agree with Rotten Tomatoes for the first time ever.
That part's wild. We never agree with those guys.
They're 93.
Amazing.
93%. And I just don't understand it. I don't know how it hasn't done better.
Yeah.
And just I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked because I've told everyone to watch it. It's really good. It's amazing. And obviously they're not listening because it's not enough money.
We'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for checking this out. We're glad to be back. We love you guys. Peace.
Sayonara.